Okay, so this is Christmas week, and you know, this week is the best time for you to buy good earphones, and these are my five highly recommended earphones that I feel you should take a look at this Christmas. Number one is the Tripowin TC01. It's a single dynamic driver earphone that is pretty competent with what it does. Tripowin is mainly known for their cable manufacturing. They have pretty much been the staple of HiFi cable in recent years. Like, everything about Tripowin screams premium in the audio, in the cable space. So for them to come in and start making incredible earphones like the TC01 is really mind-blowing. They use a simple silicon coated dynamic driver to make this. It is $50. It's not expensive. It's coming with a braided copper cable, but don't expect the best. It's $50, so they will cut some cost. They will not give you the most premium cable in the box. They make very expensive cables for their earphones. So this earphone is pretty much how will I put it, a very refined BLO one. So if you want something if you're a fan of the blonde BLO 3 and you want a refined sound, the reason why I like the other earphone that I'm going to talk about, which is the KZ EDX, and this is that they are refined models of the popular blondes. The blondes had flaws. It is muddy in the bass. Mids were not that good, but the highs were decent enough for casual listening. But what were the selling points were their bass, and the Tripowin has the bass. It has a very clean sounding bass. It doesn't muddy up other frequencies, and that's the major thing that you need. If your bass is clean and your mids are forward and not shouty, and you have very extended highs without it being peaky, then you have a fantastic earphone at your disposal. This is a ridiculously good earphone for the price, and actually it's taking off now because a lot of people are getting their hands on it now. They're seeing the value in the Tripowin TC01. They're seeing that is a great earphone, and it came out about 4 months back, it's been like 4 months now. The earphone came out a few months ago, but now it's taking off, which is nice, and I'm quite happy that it's taking off right now. Anyway, just check this out. That's number one. Number two should be the KZ. No, not the KZ. We'll get to the KZ. Will be the Jade Audio EA1. This is my outdoor companion earbud. Now, I know in my review assessment it looked like I wasn't too impressed with the earphone. Let me reiterate on something for you guys. This earphone is actually good. And one thing you need to understand is when you buy this earphone, you have to do some work on it to get the best out of it. One, I had to seal up the vents. The vents needed to be sealed off because when I got it, the bass was flabby, loose, and boomy without control and definition. Now, when I sealed up the vents, what it did was it thickened the bass, but didn't really tighten it up. It's to the point where it gave you that definition that I would like. But for the outdoor usage that I use it for, I would say this is like, if you convert this to a Bluetooth wireless setup, just get a KBEAR S1 cable. I have a KBEAR S1 with it. Like, if you use this in a wireless, or get a Jade, no, not Jade, the FiiO LC2 cable. If you can get the FiiO LC2 cable, the dark LC2 cable that can hook to this, you'll be blown away with the sound, because I can guarantee you, if you can hook the FiiO LC2 with this, I don't think any earbud below $300 would compete with this kind of setup, because it's almost like you're listening to the Jade in a wired form. It's that good. So really, after I did some idea, and another modification I did was to change the cable and as well as change the tips to wide bore tips. That really improved everything, and the Jade now performs well. It's not better than my other dynamic driver earphones, but I can actually use the Jade outdoors and enjoy it. And it doesn't have the best treble. The only thing I had issues with it was the treble wasn't extended. The mids were a bit, how will I put it? It's not veiled, but it's a bit unrefined to the point where I would love that mids. But if it is outdoor scenario, I love the Jade EA1 for my outdoor on the go. It's just my on the go ear, but when I'm outdoors, this is what I use because the bass is powerful, and I need something that has powerful bass, especially when I'm in a car or I'm on anywhere that has to do with the outdoor, because I need a lot of low frequency to drown out what is happening outdoors. This does it very well for me. It is a fantastic earbud. It has its flaws, just like every other earbud has its flaws, but this the flaws it has, I can manage, and I fixed the flaws to my best my ability, and it is fantastic. And I love it for its wireless ability, because I can use it wirelessly with a wireless cable, and it sounds bloody amazing. So check out the JadeAudio EA1. It's a fantastic earbud. Price ranges from $30 to $40, but right now it's $30. Use the link in the description to check that out. The next one is my earphone of the year, and the reason why I gave this the earphone of the year regardless of price is, you see, the KZ EDX came out of nowhere. When I paid for the KZ EDX, I already had other earphones shipped. I was waiting for all these other earphones to get to me. I never thought that the EDX would perform well. I was seeing it selling well, but I never thought the EDX would impress me. I was seeing 5 stars for this earphone. As I speak to you right now, I keep telling people that this is the most popular earphone KZ has sold ever. I think ever, because from this seller alone, Easy Store has sold almost 5,000 KZ EDX in the last 3 months of its launch. That is an incredible number. This is the highest selling earphone on Easy Store on AliExpress. And for the fact that they have sold 5,000 units of this in 3 months goes to show you and not just 5,000, they are 1,856 reviews for this earphone, all staying at 4.9 stars. There is a reason for that. There is a reason why I'm spending, why I've recommended you should buy the KBEAR limpid silver cable for this, even though that cable cost almost $35. Then I'm talking of the Pro model that they recently launched. The reason why I'm recommending silver cable is that once you pair this earphone with the silver cable, it brings this earphone from a measly $8 quote unquote budget price to something that competes with even $150 to $200 earphone. And I kid you not, it actually competes with $100+ earphones, because right now the EDX not only beats out every of my earphones in sound quality. Now, not all, but not the high end ones, but like at least the $100 to the list, to the lowest. It actually beats them all out. And I'm talking of the TINHIFI. I'm talking of the FiiOs. I'm talking of the blondes. It beats all of them. And it is crazy because this earphone is just $8. It's just $8. It's not expensive. It's something that anybody can buy. Even the poorest person can buy the KZ EDX. The EDX is a phenomenal earphone. All you need to do for this earphone is get a silver cable from KBEAR or any other brand. Yinyu. There are other cable manufacturers, but I'm a KBEAR person, so I like their cables more. You can get a cable from KBEAR, or even I will even go as far as say get a TIAaudio EST cable. Yes, I know it's expensive, but get an EST silver cable. It's $70. Pair it up with the EDX. Yes, it's 7 times the cost of one EDX, or 7.5 times the cost of one EDX. But once you do that, you will have all the connections, balanced connections that you will ever need to run it off a player. Now, some people have said that it distorts at high volume. Look, the reason why this is distorting is because of the cable. I found that out the hard way. When I got this and I used the stock tiny copper cable that it came with, which is a nice cable for the price. I don't fault the cable. I don't know what the cable does, but it makes the earphone too easy to drive. And when you play it from your smartphone or from your small amp source, it will play it loud, but there isn't any weight in its sound. It's easy to drive, but I don't know what it's doing to the driver, but it is playing it, but it distorts it quickly, and I think it's from the cable. But once you change the cable gives it a full different sound overall, especially when you change it up to a higher end cable. Once you do that, you'll be blown away with what the EDX can do. The next thing you need to change on the EDX, because people have complained of comfort, I experienced that the KZEDS doesn't do well with narrow ear tips. So you see this narrow ear tips you're seeing here, change it off to a wide bore ear tips. If you want a wide bore ear tips, get it from a brand called Tend Mill. They call their earbuds, their tips, Whirlwind wide bore ear tips. It's a AliExpress as well, so you get that for this, or get any other one. I think Nishek HCK sells wide bore ear tips. You can get that as well for this earphone. It should work very well, but once you do that, you're good to go. Just pair it up with a wide bore ear tip, the largest size of the wide bore ear tip. I use the largest. The reason why is that it doesn't go into my ears, it just stays on my ears, still gives me the full seal, then increasing the sound stage and still giving me the full clarity, the highs, the crystal clear mids, and the bass. So that is what that whiteboard does for me. It doesn't need to go into my ears and cause me ear fatigue or give me any irritation. It just stays on my ears, still giving me the full impact of that sound that I'm in love with. So that is the reason why I highly rate the EDX. So you can get it, it's very cheap, it's $8, but make sure when you're putting this in your cart, pair it up with a silver cable and a wide bore ear tip to get the best out of it. Okay, number 4 is the FiiO FD5. This is a newly launched flagship earphone from FiiO. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's $319. It's actually $320. Just give you the full price that it came with. It's a $320 Beryllium earphone. It's coated, but it's coated around the DLC dynamic driver, so you're getting good bass. Like, they claim that this is a fun sounding earphone, and I've seen the graph. It's a fun sounding tune earphone. It should have a ability to resolve as well. It has filters, like 2 filters that it's coming with, so you can change up the sound to your liking and get the best out of it. I will be getting this in the coming months. I will review this on this channel. I will review this. It is a very, very fantastic earphone. Because I'm a Beryllium fanboy, so anything Beryllium I know would sound good because of the way that technology of the driver works. It's coming with a 12mm Beryllium the driver, so just expect very powerful sound from it. It's a new product, so many people haven't gotten their hands on it yet. I am certainly getting my hands on it soon, but I've seen the graph. The graph is good for my taste. From the graph, it's a fun set. I'm judging this from the graph. I've not touched it. The cable looks fantastic. It's usually using a new cable that has terminations to all the connection types that you will ever need. So I think this is great for audiophiles. I will get it very soon. I will review it in the coming months on this channel, because shipping delays and all that. So number 5, which is the final, last but not the least, but this is the most highly recommended earphone right now because of the price and the performance. You see, it's selling really, really well, and it's selling out really, really fast. Is the KBEAR Believe. let's just put it that the review for this is coming next year on this channel. I'm sorting some things out so that this arrives on time for you guys, so you see some comparisons and all that to my other dynamic drivers. But this is the earphone I highly recommend. Yes, you need to buy it with an amp. If you don't have an amp, don't buy this. Don't buy this for your smartphone. Don't buy this for your tablet. Don't buy this for your laptop. Buy this for your high quality amplifier. Now, if you need amplifiers that work with this, I can recommend some amps that work very well for this. Get an amp that has at least 300 milliwatts of power upwards into the 1000 milliwatts and all that. So amps that work very well for it is the new XDO XP2 Pro that has around 300 milliwatts. The better choice that you should go for is the new XDO 05 Basic that has 500 milliwatts output of power. Should work very well with the Believe. If you want more power, you can get their flagship XDO 05 Plus that has 1000 milliwatts of power. Works flawlessly with this and pushes this to the full potential. And the reason for this is because this has a very low sensitivity of 98 decibels. Impedance is regular 17 ohms, but the low sensitivity is what is making it tough to drive. So just know this. Get an amp. Yes, another amp that works very well that's budget is HiFi Zen DAC, because it has at least 400 milliwatts of power. It is more than enough to run this. The BTR5, the FiiO BTR, the most popular DAC on the planet now, Black DAC Bluetooth chip amp, can work with this, but you need to change the cable to a balanced cable. Don't run it off the single-ended output. Get a balanced cable for it, so you get the best out of the FiiO. So you get the best out of the KBEAR Believe. You kind of have to do that if you really want the best out of this earphone. This is the budget DAC. Yeah, another DAC that can work well with it is the Tripowin NX4S, the DSD version. Is going to work well with it, even though that doesn't have the same amount of power that these other ones have, but it is powerful and it has almost 300 milliwatts of power as well, so it should work very well. Plus it's a cleaner sounding amp than most of these ones I mentioned, so you can get that. If you want to go into the mid-tier amp that can work very well for this, that was recently launched, you can get the new FiiO Q5S, the Q5S, that one that has the THX inbuilt into it. That has, and when you're buying it, buy a balanced cable that terminates in 4.4 connection so that you can run it off it, because in 4.4 connection it can power this up to 560 milliwatts of output, which is more than enough. So, and you know, with THX signal it will be clean sounding overall. So that is it. Just know that when you're getting the Believe, you're getting it for the detail, the power, the resolution, and the impact of the bass. The bass is very fast, and the way you know the bass is fast is when you amp it very well. You have to amp it very well. You have to give it all the power that it needs to get the best out of it. I am really impressed with KBEAR's launch, and I hope they continue with this spectacular build quality that they've put out, and we shall see what the future holds for this brand. And I'll keep covering them because I have many of their products now in-house. And that is it, guys. That's the 5 earphones that I highly recommend for you to get this Christmas, or any one of them is fine. Just make sure you subscribe to our channel, do like our content, follow us on social media. I'm going to see you guys next time.